Welcome back, everyone, to Open Line. We have with us Metro Councilman At-Large Bob Mendes talking about the Metro budget, the proposal to privatize on-street parking in Nashville. Several calls. Let's go back to the phones. Hello, James.
Yes, hello. Thanks for having me on. I'll jump right in. Our council rep Withers suggested there shouldn't be such an uproar because this was all publicized by Metro over a year ago. I feel that the opposite is true. This was publicized a year ago, but we still know nothing. That's kind of troubling. Constituent input shouldn't really be the last step in this process. I think it was a Channel 5 news article that exposed that Metro has admitted that our upcoming budget incorporates this incoming income, assuming that the approval will come to pass. That's kind of troubling as well. It feels like we're being railroaded, that our input will be just lip service. I don't know if it was talked about earlier in the show, but there was a prior Metro Planning Organization study that recognized that the profitability of metering business districts as well as adjoining residential streets. A map of these potential areas was exposed when this hit the press, and now that prior research is being characterized as misinformation. Do we have any guarantee that this research is not honestly part of the future of privatizing and profitizing our parking?
The research you're talking about, are you talking about like in some of the residential areas?
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was the Westerholm research that somebody slipped in the map from that.
All right, you've brought up several good points. Do you mind, James, since we're running out of time, do you have one other thing you want to add? Go ahead.
Yeah, just overall, don't you think by having the provider design the solution, isn't that kind of like asking a fox to design our hen house?
All right, thank you for your comments there. He said several things. One, yeah, when this was first reported, it was kind of downplayed, like, well, we've been talking about this for a long time, and yet you go to council members and they don't have the details, and so you can't have both sides there. Can we be sure that this won't expand beyond the 2,000 they keep talking about when there are maps that show residential areas where there is on-street parking that's somehow available? You know, so there are these questions, and so I guess you heard his call. What do you think there?
Well, on that question first, the thing that I'm pretty confident about right now is if the question is who's going to make the decision on where spots are, Metro or that company, I feel pretty confident that the decision is going to be Metro's. Now, inside Metro, we get back to this trust issue of, do people trust that Metro isn't going to go put spots where they shouldn't go? And like that's a fair question, and it's going to be up to the, as I understand, the traffic
parking
commission to decide where the spots are. So it's got to be a win that it's not some company from somewhere else that's making the decisions. That means it's Metro making the decisions, and I guess we have to decide whether we're comfortable with that. And
the other thing about the budget, we talked about this at the beginning, but yes, it's in next year's budget.
Yeah.
$30 million is already part of next year's budget proposal from this plan. So is the mayor putting the cart before the horse, or whatever here? Is he jumping the gun when he puts that in next year's budget?
Well, every council member that voted for last year's budget 11 months ago voted for $15 million for parking enforcement rights to be in the current year's budget, and that didn't happen. And the city's hitting a savings account. We got legislation coming before us next Tuesday to take $15 million out of savings to make up for the $15 million that already didn't come in for parking. So it's definitely a fair question to ask, does it make sense to make a budget based on something that hasn't happened yet? This year, I think, having learned the lesson of last year, at least the mayor's office has got the parking enforcement and the budget time together. I guess that's progress. It's going to be up to the council whether we bow to that pressure and hurry our analysis, or whether we figure out something else for the budget.
All right, we have to take a break. Come back. I'll be back right after this.